Together we rise, together we rise.
As we're journeying to greater, as we move into living our lives bold, fulfilled, and free, sometimes there are things that hinder us and prevent us from moving along those lines in our life. I saw this quote I wanted to share with you, and it says, if you don't ask, the answer is always no. If you don't go after what you want, you'll never have it. And if you don't step forward, you'll always be in the same spot. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the things that hinders us and sometimes prevent us from moving and being and doing all the amazing things that we know that we were created and destined to be. Yes, we were created and we were destined for a reason and for a purpose. Yes, we have dreams, we have desires, we have goals, we have things that we want to see happen in our lives. But the question is, what hinders us? What prevents us from moving and being and doing all these amazing things that we already know that's inside of us? Well, I did a little bit of research, and research stated that one of the common reasons, or some of the common reasons and obstacles that hinders us from moving and being and doing the things that we desire to do could be fear of failure. There could be lack of clarity. It could be busyness. It could be people pleasing, seeking approval. It could be anxiety. It could be distractions. So many things that could pop up and prevent us and cause us and stop us from being and doing all the amazing things that we already know that's inside of us. So what would it look like if we begin to ask ourselves some questions? If we begin to stop and pause and maybe ask ourselves, what would my life be like if I pursue and I don't allow any of those things to hinder me and prevent me from being and doing the things that I desire to do? What would it look like if I don't do it? What would my life look like if I continue within the status quo? If I continue to doing what I normally do, knowing that it's not garnering unto me the life that I've dreamed of and the life that I desire. So then the next thing we could ask ourselves is, what would be the first thing that I could do to begin to move in that direction? What if we had an accountability partner? What if we had someone that would help us and we know that they will hold us accountable for the things that we say that we're going to do? Because how often do we know that when we know somebody is checking on us, it kind of motivates us to continue to do what it is that we're saying that we're going to do? Another thing is, what if we had some clarity and was confident in the reason why we want to live this type of life, the reason why we want to do these things that we're desiring to do? Because oftentimes, many times, most of the time, when we understand our why, it can definitely be an amazing motivating factor. Another thing is, what would happen if we begin to invest in ourselves? What would happen if we begin to become a part of programs or take classes or different things that will help us develop the skills that we need to be able to do the things that we're desiring to do? What if we took time to rest, to pause, to even take care of ourselves, begin to think about our emotional well-being? Because sometimes when we're not feeling well and we're not thinking well about ourselves, it can prevent us from being able to kind of think about what we want to do and even help us have clarity on what we want to do. The other thing is, what if we sought God? This is one of the most important ones. What if we took time and said, Lord, I know you created me for a reason. I know you created me for a purpose. What is it that you're desiring of me? What have you tasked me to do? What problem have you created me to solve? And who are the individuals that you've created me to solve them for. Now, is that powerful or not? And we begin to sit in that and allow God to begin to reveal to us what it is that he's created us to do, and the problem that he's created us to solve, and the people that he's called us to. Because the truth be told, we're not called to everybody, and we're not called to solve all problems. But there is something that you have been created and designed to do. So again, what if we just sat and had a conversation with God and just sit in that for a while and allow him to show us and to reveal to us the purpose and the reason that he has for our life. I'm hoping this is helping you. I would love to get some feedback. I would love to see how you're navigating, how you're discovering, how you're beginning to move and be and do the various things that you want to do. Because the reality is, in order for us to feel fulfilled, is when we're doing the thing that we're created to do. And when we're feeling empty and void, like something's missing, it's because we're not doing the thing that we were created to do. And we haven't become the person that we need to become to do the thing that we were created to do. So that's something to sit in and to think about. Again, I'm hoping that this conversation is causing you to take a moment to pause, to stop, and to reflect. And in the midst of all of this, it's so important. It's so critical that you take time to celebrate. It's so important. Sometimes we get so caught up in the journey and we're just doing, and we don't even recognize all of the amazing things that are happening along the way, all of the amazing strides that we're making along the way, because we're focused on the next thing. So as you're creating these milestones, or you're hitting these milestones, celebrate. Wow, today I did X, Y, and Z. I am so grateful. I am so excited that I was able to accomplish this thing today. It takes one step at a time. As you know, as they often say, Rome wasn't built in a day. And it's a process, because we all know life going life. Things are not going to always go as planned. Stuff happens. So it's good to be able to have a plan, a strategy, something in place that will help us to be able to navigate when we hit those various spots in our lives. Because trust and be assured, they will come. Things will happen. But the key is being able to have a way to navigate when those things and those times show up in our lives. So I want you to be encouraged. I want you to begin, as you're moving about your day, begin to just take a moment and think. I know I used to go out, part of a program, and when we would go out, and once we came out in the community, from the community, one of the three questions we would ask, what did we do good? What could we do better? And what worked? What worked? What didn't work? And what could we do better? Those were the three questions. And what would happen if we would stop and pause, maybe each day or each evening before we end our day? Wow, what happened good today? What did we do good today? What worked today? What could we do better? What didn't work today? And we can begin to plan and move each day, taking those small steps, moving in the direction that we're desiring to be. And sometimes when we ask the right questions, it helps give us clarity. It helps, help us to understand and be able to move and do the things that we want to do. Because when we're not clear, it can hinder us. We're all over the map. That's where the busyness can get into play. That's when the people pleaser can come into play. So again, when we're clear, when we understand our why, what about if we have those accountability partners? What about if we begin to invest in ourselves? Do you think some of these things would truly help us to become and to begin to do the thing that we've always wanted to do, and to do the thing that we believe that we were created and purposed to do? So until next time, just continue to live life bold, fulfilled, and free. Take care.